Right, so the Banking Association of South Africa strongly refuted claims made by the Human Settlements Minister, Mmamoloko Kubayi, regarding discriminatory practices in the home loan application process. Now, Kubayi expressed concern over the high rejection rates for previously disadvantaged groups, attributing them to alleged discriminatory practices, despite banks citing poor credit records and affordability issues as their main reasons. But for more on the comments made by the Human Settlements Minister on South Africa's banks and their lending practices, we are joined by Managing Director of the Banking Association of South Africa, Bongiwe. Kunene, Bongiwe, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I think this is such an important discussion because there are so many South Africans who earn between 3,500 Rand and 22,000 Rand that feel that they struggle to access home loans. They cannot get an RDP house, and so they do need the finance, but the data just not in their favor. Just to start off, Bongiwe, if you'll allow me, one of the things that the minister's done is she's even written an op-ed, and in it, she writes, the total number of approved applications to previous disadvantaged individuals over 5 years is just over 2 million out of 4 million applications, which equates to 49.9%. So 49.9% going to previously disadvantaged, or we can say black applicants, while 53%, she argues, has been given to white applicants. And she says there is a discrimination against previously disadvantaged applicants. What do you say to that data? I think let's start there with the data put forward by the minister.
Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to comment. I would say we need to examine the data if it is race-based as it is portrayed, for the simple reason that whenever a decision is made on a loan, it doesn't matter which loan it is, whether it's a car, it's a house, or any other. It's not made on the basis of race. The rejections which happen when a person applies for a loan are based on the evidence that the bank has in its hands when it is examining it's based on the information that the bank has when it is looking at all that is necessary for the loan to be made. The biggest item that are get to be looked at is the ability to repay.
Okay, because what the minister says is the Home Loan and Mortgage Disclosure Act was promulgated in the year 2000, and it's there to compel financial institutions to give reasons as to why there are loans that aren't approved. I want you to listen to what the minister had to say on this discussion, exactly what it is that she's asking for. Listen to this.
We can either confirm or deny the allegation. So, for example, what we request is that they must tell us how many people they've given loans to and to what value. They must categorize in terms of race. Who are those people? We don't need the names. We don't need the personal addresses. So we protect personal information and client and bank confidentiality. So you just give us data to say 50 people, out of the 50 people we've given loans, 10 are black, 3 are white, 3 are what. That's all we want. And then out of those, you give us in terms of geographical spread. Where are they? Are they in Soweto, all of them? So that we see the patterns. Do we continue to perpetuate apartheid spatial planning, where majority of the black people continue to live in the outside areas or in one areas? Or are we seeing movement of people into previously white-owned suburbs, for example?
Yeah. So, Bongiwe, I think you were able to hear that. Essentially, the minister wanting to deal with spatial apartheid is saying that is the banks approving that movement, right? So where an individual maybe moves from Soweto to Sandton, do you have that data of those approvals and also the data that you have according to race? So even with the numbers that I gave you earlier, what do yours look like?
I don't have the data in front of me just now. Here is what I can confirm. First, that the requirements of giving out information, who gets a loan, who didn't, it's given out to the Office of Disclosure. That office reports to the minister. The second item I can confirm is that there isn't anything that banks will withhold when they are giving out information. It is given out in full. On top of that, I must stress that there are requirements from other acts of law in terms of how banks treat customer data. So if there is an additional requirement more than what banks have been given, there is a need for us to find each other, government and the banking sector. And I'm saying government because this is not about the Department of Human Settlements. There are other departments where banks report. So one such act that I can cite is the National Credit Act. It also has reporting requirements. And then, of course, there is the Information Regulator, which stipulates how you treat individual data. When all of that is settled, we will be able to find each other. There isn't a need for us not to put this on the table, given how well we work with the Department of Human Settlement.
Yeah, because the ministers put data forward. It would have been interesting to hear your data since, you know, the ministers obviously shared hers publicly. But what conversations is BASA going to be having with the Minister of Human Settlements? I know that she did receive a letter with you responding and refuting the claims that she's made, but what other interactions will you be having with the Human Settlements Department as the minister works towards getting banks to disclose reasons for denying home loans?
We have enough work between the two of us, the banking sector and the human settlements, that we are currently working on.
Are you saying that you are too busy to meet with the Human Settlements Minister?
We will meet with the minister.
When is that going to happen? There are millions of South Africans that are watching this discussion and feel that they may very well be impacted, particularly if they earn between 3,500 and 22,000. When is that meeting going to happen? When are you going to pursue a meeting with the minister?
Whenever the minister is available, we will meet with her.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Bongiwe Kunene, the MD there of the Banking Association of South Africa, refuting claims by the Human Settlements Minister that they are in any way denying home loans based on race. We're going